Hello, and welcome to this lunar intention setting ceremony celebrating the Sagittarius full moon, which is occurring on May 29th. My name is Tiffany, and I will be your guide. We are going to go through a couple things, starting with a little meditation to drop us into this experience and bring us present into the current moment. I'm going to share some teachings around the moon cycle, particularly what kind of intentions we are doing in regards to a full moon. I'm going to share a little bit about what the Sagittarius energy is fueling this moon. So kind of that extra essence or that extra oomph that we're getting in this full moon. It's not just the crazy stuff that comes up when the full moon happens. We're going to use 3 journal prompts in particular to dive into our own development a little bit and see what it is that we really want to release or let go of. I'll walk you through a intention setting process to allow you the time to write down what your intention is. And then we'll go ahead and set that intention with a guided visualization. So I'd like to first start by saying thank you for being here with me today. If you have been with me for previous lunar intention setting ceremonies, welcome back. If you are new, thank you for joining me. So let's begin with dropping in with a little meditation. And if you want to go ahead and just get comfortable, however that feels right for you, it can be seated, it can be standing, it can be laying down, whatever feels right for you. And when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. And let's just begin with noticing the breath. And you may notice that each breath is unique. Each breath may be a little bit shorter or longer than the one before it. I also want you to know how effortlessly the breath happens. You don't have a voice in your mind that says, breathe in now, breathe out now. It's your body doing its natural thing. And just like our breath, our natural state of existence is just being. We are human beings. So I'd like to invite you, as you are sitting in this moment, to just be. Knowing that you are doing exactly what you need to do. You are where you need to be. And there's nothing else for you to worry about at this moment. We are just existing here together in this shared experience. Let's go ahead and take one nice deep breath in together and sigh it out. And as you return to normal breathing, you're welcome to open your eyes and come back into the room. So today we are celebrating the full moon. And the full moon is the time when the sun's light is actually beaming back at us in the nighttime. We are receiving the sun's energy both day and night. And that is a time for us to look at what is arriving or what is growing in our maybe subconscious, maybe our emotions, maybe our habits, those areas that the moon is associated with. And when we're looking at those things illuminated in the darkness, that is the time for us to say, am I in alignment with what's here? Am I in agreement with what's here? Is there something here that is no longer serving me? And so as we move through the ceremony tonight, I would like you to think about what aspects of your life, maybe they're emotional, maybe they're mental, maybe they're relationships, maybe they're actual physical things. What aspects of your life are no longer in alignment with where you would like to be? And to do that, I'd also like to bring in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign. It is the sign that the full moon is currently in. And so I'd like us to use some of that energy, some of that intensity that is very relevant right now, and use it for our own personal and spiritual development. The first thing I'd like to mention is that the Sagittarius is a fire sign. So perhaps if you would like, you could light a candle. And if you want to pause and do that at this time, I welcome you to do that. Or another element of, or association, I should say, of Sagittarius is the hips and the thighs. So as you're kind of thinking of ways to maybe shake things up, maybe you want to try doing some dancing. Maybe I'll try to do some belly dancing, kind of get those hips going. Yes, that's something to think about as you're kind of moving through this ceremony tonight. I also wanted to mention that Sagittarius is associated with the planet Jupiter. And Jupiter, huge Jupiter, is the ruler of expansion and luck. So we're going to work through a couple of those components because Sagittarius thinks about the ways in which they can expand. And in particular, knowledge. So they're thinking about expansion in regards to their growth, their learning. And one of the archetypes, if you're familiar with archetypes, the one that is associated with Sagittarius is the philosopher. So maybe getting in tune with your inner philosopher and thinking about what knowledge, what truth it is that you are seeking or that you would like to bring into this world. Another key attribute that I'd like to mention is that Sagittarius, think of them as like the archer. That's very much a symbol of their zodiac signs, the bow and the arrow. And when you're thinking about using your bow and your arrow, you're not standing 3 feet from your mark. Your target is way off in the distance. And you have to pull back that bow to give your intention the strength and power it needs to fly through the air, undistracted, unbothered by anything other than hitting its mark. So thinking about the bigger picture, nothing standing in your way, maybe optimism, knowing that you're going to hit your mark no matter what, bringing some of that into your intentions today. A couple of other components associated with Sagittarius are a sense of adventure and travel. How are you feeling about your sense of adventure and travel? And I'd like to mention that you don't have to go thousands of miles away to experience adventure or travel for that matter. You could tie up your shoes, walk across town, with no set direction in mind, and just see what you see, and that could be an adventure. So opening up your mind to the possibilities, knowing that the possibilities are truly limitless. When you think about how you can experience adventure and optimism and fun. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Fun, people. How many of us are so busy adulting that we're just getting older? Do you remember being a kid in the moment you were like, I'm going to run through that sprinkler, and your mom was like, no. And you were like, too late. Because you're not thinking, oh, I'm going to be wet and then it's going to get my clothes dirty. No, you're living in the moment. That's Sagittarius energy. And that is what I want to bring into this world. It's more fun. So let's do some reflection. And I highly encourage you to get a journal if you don't already have one. I think it is super potent to write down some of these reflections. It gives you a chance to really put yourself out there, really start to learn who you are at the core of your being. And you get to do that in a way that is judgment-free. What you put on that page is meant for you and for you only. The page doesn't get to tell you what you wrote is good or bad. And you don't get to say what you wrote is good or bad. Just write. So as I give you these 3 journal prompts, I would invite you to pause the video in between each one and take as little or as long as you would like to reflect. And then, of course, when you're ready, come on back. I think the other reason why I think the journal is so beneficial for this process is as we move through each of the cycles of the moon, we can also look back at what we've experienced to show just how far we've come. So if you are someone who does write, I encourage you to go back and look 6 months ago when we had the Sagittarius new moon. What was your life like then? And how much has changed? What has grown in your experience since then? And I also, if you were able to participate in the new moon in Taurus ceremony 2 weeks ago, I invite you to look back at your intention from that ceremony and say, what's come up? Do I need to make some adjustments? So let's start with the first journal prompt. What do you need to release or let go of in order to have more fun? What do you need to release or let go of in order to have more fun? The next journal prompt is kind of working a little bit with that knowledge and expansion. And I know this is something that I've suffered from in the past, where I feel like I need more knowledge. I need another certification. I need another something, piece of learning before I can start taking action. I can't be a coach until I'm certified. And not just certified, I need to be ICF certified. And then on top of that, I need to have this certification so that I can prove to people that I'm able to do this work. And yes, there are certain things that require certification, but there's also a lot of stuff that we could be doing if we weren't so wrapped up in what I've heard called analysis paralysis, or being a knowledge junkie. You know, it's one thing to be a knowledge seeker and continue to grow. There's another concept if it's actually holding you back because you're limiting your action as a result of feeling like you need more knowledge to feel like you're enough. And so this next journal prompt, I'd like you to think about, are you suffering from analysis paralysis? Or is there an area of your life where your obsession with knowledge is limiting your ability to take action. So again, are you suffering from analysis paralysis? Or is there an area in your life where your obsession with a need for knowledge is limiting your ability to take action? And then the last piece, the last journal prompt that I would like to introduce is kind of a little bit of that philosopher. And I'd like you to think about what is keeping you from living or speaking your truth. What is keeping you from living or speaking your truth? And as you wrap up those journal prompts, I want you to just take a glance at what you've written. Are you noticing any themes, any threads that are kind of coming through? And I'd like you to bring those into our intention. And as you write your intention, I would like you to focus on what you would like to release in order to be more true to yourself. In order for you to show up fully in this world, what do you need to let go of? And if that doesn't resonate with you, write your own intention. What would you like to set, to place in the container of this full moon? It's totally up to you. As with the rest of this entire video, take what works, leave what doesn't. The one thing that I do recommend in your writing of intentions is that you write from the perspective of already having it. So write in a present tense. If you want to infuse gratitude, super awesome, go for it. But make sure it's something written as if you're already embodying that existence, that intention. So if you, for example, say, I want to release my fear of public speaking, well, saying you want to do something, I mean, I want to go to London. Saying I'm going to London is a totally different thing. Same thing with your intention. I release any fears associated with public speaking. I am a natural public speaker. So state those intentions with power, with conviction, with strength and grace. And once you get your intention set, pausing if you need to, let's go ahead and put that into place with a little guided visualization. So again, if you could close your eyes, let's take a deep breath together. Let it out. One more, breathe in. And let it out. And I invite you to bring your intention into your awareness. I invite you at this time to repeat either to yourself or out loud your intention 3 times. Now I would like us to fast forward. I want you to imagine a time in the future. Maybe it's a few weeks, maybe it's a few months, perhaps it's even a few years. And at this time in the future, you have fully embodied your intention. And I want you to notice what is different about yourself. What do you see that's different? What do you feel that's different? How has your environment changed? Where you hang out, who you hang out with? How has your body changed? Do you feel different inside? Are you visually different from the exterior? How has your emotional state changed? I just want you to feel into all of these aspects right now as if they are currently part of who you are. You are a tremendously powerful creator of your reality. And the intention that you set now is as good as done. Go ahead and give yourself a hug. Nice, big, maybe a little awkward, because we can hug. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. May these intentions manifest with the greatest of our desires. And so it is. So you open your eyes and come back into the room. I want you to take a moment and I want you to write down one action, one single action that you are going to take within the next 24 hours to help you step closer to alignment with this intention. It can be something small, noticing your thought patterns, practicing that half-second pause before you react, or it can be something bigger. But something that you can do in the next 24 hours that will help prove you are ready for this intention to be your reality. And I also want to offer a deeper dive for anyone who wants to take this maybe one step further. I have a 5-day integration package that's available. This is an email course. The first email begins with some instruction on how to do a fire ceremony, kind of embracing the fire component of Sagittarius. And that email will be sent out on the day of the full moon, May 29. The other days include working with expansion, working with the philosopher archetype, working with independence, and then, of course, fun. And each day you will get daily practice, a little bit more information, there's some teaching, and there's some action. So if you are a knowledge seeker, if you are on your path and want to learn more about practices and personal development, I invite you to check out my website. It's tiffanymarlink.com. And if you go to /videos, you will find the 5-day integration package is available for you there. The package is just $22 and is really a great way to take this intention just one step further and integrate it into your life. If you are watching this and it is after the first day of the full moon, you are still welcome to participate. Please just email me. It's tiffany@tiffanymarlink.com. Let me know you're interested and we will work out the details to make sure that you get each of the 5 days. I would like to thank you so much for being here today. And I look forward to seeing you again in about 2 weeks when we will have our next new moon in Gemini. Until then, Happy full moon blessings. Thank you.